coming out can be the most awkward, stressful thing in the world. It's very nerve-wracking. Nobody wants to do it, but if you want to be happy, live your life as you are, then you gotta do it. When I had first found out that I was transgender, I didn't tell anybody for not too long, a couple weeks, because I couldn't keep it contained. I could not say it to somebody. So my ex at the time, who I wasn't talking to her. I mean, I talk to her now, but when this was going on, me and her hadn't talked in a month, and she was my first go-to. I immediately got a hold of her and I was like, listen, I think I'm transgender. And she was like, good, I'm glad that you came to that realization, I'm glad, good for you. And that just from that point, it was just a little sense of relief. It just felt so good. Then the next person that I had told was the next two people I told, because I told them, were my mama and my papa, Ange and Jesse. Don't know why I was so nervous to tell Jesse. I just know that I'm mama's baby boy and she would comfort me no matter what, and I'm just, the golden child. So I asked Ange to get alone and so I could have this conversation with her. So we met up at her house one day, and I was like, it took me forever to say it. I was just frozen, and I was just like, I think I'm transgender. And she was like, it's okay, that's okay, that's good. It's good that you found out who you are, that's important. So in the middle of me explaining this to Ange, Jessie had walked into the house but went into another room. So as soon as I told her, we both got up and she was like, let's go tell Jessie. And I was like, okay. So I went in there and I told Jessie, and Jessie was like, so what's up, buddy? And then, I don't know, I just said it, and I just immediately started crying. After every person I told, I cried, I swear. I don't know why, I don't know. I just would cry. It was just so emotional for me. But the friends, my really close friends, that was easy. That was the easy part. After coming out to them, I had advised them that in the documentary that is on closetsareforclothes.org, check it out. In that documentary, before we had made it, I was like, guys, I want to come out in this documentary. And they were like, no, are you sure? Are you ready? That's a lot. And I was like, no, that's what I need to do. So, I did that. And I had my parents watch the documentary. That was kind of my way of coming out to them, because I couldn't handle saying it to their faces. So when I came out to the people in my family, well, I told my little brother first before I advised anyone else in my family, because me and my little brother are buddies. And he was like, well, why wasn't I the first one to know? What made them so freaking special? How come these people got to know first? And he was just like, I don't understand it. He's like, but I love you, and I've always known that you were my brother. You've never really been a sister to me. Whatever. When I told my mom and my dad, I just had them watch the video, and they both had texted me back saying, I love you no matter what, whatever. My older brother had seen it or something, because he came into work the next day and was like, I love you no matter what, blah, blah, blah. So it seemed it was fine at first. So after I had told them, they were all acting yeah, we're going to love you no matter what. We're going to be awesome parents. And then they must have really just not understood what it was, because when I started to give them more information on it, they were like, you're going to do what? Are you kidding me? You're not a, what? You're not a boy? I had first gotten into an argument about it with my mom, which is super surprising, because my mom is the most lovey-dovey lady ever. And she just kept saying that she was mourning the fact that she was losing her daughter. and she didn't want to lose her daughter. She didn't want to have to put me to she felt like I was dying, like I am dead. To her, like that was me being dead. And it was, I mean, I don't know. So at first it was her, like, honest feelings, but then it turned into, like, and I don't want to bash on my mom, but I think that somebody needs to be, like, brutally honest, because, like, brutally honest stuff like this can help people. So, my mom came up to my work one day, and I don't really remember why, but I had gotten into the truck with her, and she was just sitting there, and she was like, you know, I prayed to God that he'd take my life before he transitioned. And I was like, alright. So then I just got out of the truck and kind of ignored that because, like, wow, what do you say to that? I don't know. And then after that I was getting hate message after hate message after hate message saying, like, all of these awful things. At one point was, like, attacked, like I guess I don't have to get into that. But it was not good at first. Like, it was awful. And then after that, my family's weird. They're unpredictable. They don't make sense. Because after that, I called my dad, who is the Bible, you know, like, goes to church and, like, really believes that homosexuality is a sin and, like, thinks it's disgusting and all of that. And and I went to him and I had explained the situation. I was like, Mom hates me, like, whatever, like, blah, blah, blah. I was, like, crying to him, and he was like, well, what do you mean you feel like a boy? And I, like, had to explain it to him, like, Dad, this is just how I feel. Like, I know, like, what you think would make me a girl, which is my sex, but I feel like a boy up here, like, it's up here, gender's up here. And I was trying to explain that to him, but he's a brick wall. Nothing gets through to him. And so he was kind of weird about it at first, but then towards like the end, he saw how upset I was, and he, like, sat me down and he goes, can I pray with you? And I was like, yeah. So he took my hands and he was, like, saying, like, dear God, like, saying that he hoped to give me my answers and that my family backs me up and, like, and we all, like, love me regardless and stuff like that. And then that was that, and I was like, wow, my dad's gonna be cool about this. And then and then I asked my mom to gather a meeting with the whole family because my parents are divorced. I don't get to, like, talk to them both at the same time because they cannot stand to be in a room together. So I got them all to meet at a big boy. And it turned into a massive scene, a massive fight. It was just like, why did we even come to a public place to do this? We know we're gonna fight. And it wasn't a good time at all. My dad made one of the weirdest analogies ever. As my mom is sitting next to me, okay, my dad's across, used to be married, they're divorced now. He says to me, when I was married to your mom, just about every other girl that I saw, I wanted to fuck. But that doesn't make it okay, does it? So, Dad, you're comparing... What? Wait, I don't even know what to say to that. I was like, what? I turned to my mom and I was like, did you just hear what he said? And then I turned to my little brother and he was like, whew. And even my older brother was like, dude, what is your problem? Like, who even says that? But then they were sitting there telling me, like, you're not a boy. I've known you my whole life. Like, you were a little girl. Like, you liked all my guy friends, and you like blah blah blah. Like, I know you better than you do. And I'm sitting there like, you guys know nothing about me. Nothing. Family members, parents who think they know 100% who their kid are. You're setting yourself up for failure because you don't. Your kid's not going to share every single secret with you. But for someone to tell me that I'm not who I am is very frustrating. And basically, it didn't go well at all. And the last thing that my brother had said before I had got up and walked out was, you'll never know what it is to become a man because you aren't a man. No matter what you do to your body, you will not be a man. And I looked him straight in the eyes and I was like, you're disrespectful. And then I just walked out. And then I left. And I haven't really talked to him about it since, because why would I? But there was a special situation with my dad. A while back, he had taken me to Bell Tire to go pick up my truck for whatever. And I had suggested to him that I was ready for male pronouns at work. I was like, you know what I'm going through, and like, you know, like, about everything that's going on. I was like, and it makes me very uncomfortable using female pronouns in my birth name. Like, please, can we stop? And he was like, why would you want to do something so silly like that? And then it turned into him screaming and yelling, and then after that, I was like, I can't talk to you about it anymore. Like, he said some nasty things as well. My family's reactions to things they don't understand are like... So we were in the car. The whole point of that was, I asked him to, if I could come, not asking for permission because I'm gonna do what I want, but I like suggested to him that I was ready to do that, and he shut me down so hard that I was scared to do it. Because if somebody goes against what my dad says, like, everybody at my work is scared of him, so they will do as he says. So it doesn't even matter. I told people at work that I'm transgender. They know that if they use male pronouns, they're gonna get yelled at, and that ain't cool. So recently, my dad had pulled me aside to talk about something that is completely irrelevant. And it got down to, what is this Jet? Jet's not your name? I was like, yeah, Jet's my name. He was like, no, I gave you your name, and that's not it. And I was like, Dad, like, I've been on testosterone now. Like, the changes are happening. You can't use female pronouns. You can't do it. That's disrespectful. There's no other way to say it, but it's disrespectful. So I said it to him again. I was like, listen, I'm on T now. I am no longer going to be scared of you. I'm no longer going to do it. You don't own me. I am my own person. I'm going to do it. And he was like, you know what, you can go leave for the day. So then I walked out to go get my stuff and to leave, and then he was like, you leave your personal life at home. This is work. I was like, this isn't just my personal life, this is who I am, and I want to be able to live as who I am. It's not fair that you can constrict how I want to live my life. That's not okay. So, because he was telling me all that, I walked out into a room where everyone was sitting, and I was like, hey everyone, I'm transgender. I'm transgender. There you go, Dad. Told them all, I'm transgender. And he goes, you're fired. And he fired me on the spot. So my dad isn't and probably won't come around. My older brother is basically my dad, so he's not going to come around. My younger brother is trying with the pronouns in the name, and I get that's going to take a second, even though, I mean, come on. But my mom, after she was not the worst one, but in the beginning she was really bad. She was not having it, and she was yelling at me every day. We have never fought so much. She was like, we can no longer be best friends because you broke our mother-daughter bond and stuff like that. And I was just saying, like, because you chose to be on testosterone, we can't be friends anymore. So now we're at the point where the first day that I got my T shot, I had called my mom and I was like, Mom, I did it. Like, I got my first shot of T. She was like, how do you feel? And I was like, good. She's like, I hope that this is what makes you happy. I hope this is everything you've ever needed. She was like, I love you, and I want you to know that I always love you. This is going to be hard for me, but I'm happy if you're going to be happy. That's all that matters to me, is if you're happy. And the following week, it was Easter Sunday, and I went there, and my mom gave me a hug. She came up behind me and she hugged me and she goes, so how's it going? Did you see anything yet? You notice any changes? And I was like, just like, I don't know, it was awesome that she was like actually caring about like and acknowledging what I'm going through. Like, she's still, you know, sad about it, but she's come around and she's also one of my biggest supporters, and I'm not mad at her for the way that she reacted, because people react ways differently, even though some things don't need to come out of the mouth. But all in all, coming out is either really easy or really hard. For the really easy ones, I'm glad that you had a safe environment to do so, and like everyone was loving, and like you deserve that. For the hard ones, you gotta just stick through it. You can't let these people tell you who you are or how to live your life. You're not gonna be happy living how they want you to live. I promise. Express yourself how you feel on the inside. Even coming out to just one person at a time, makes it so easy. It makes it so much easier. It's because it's like you have your supportive, like, troop behind you. You got your one friend that said, hey, I love you, I support you. And then you got your other friend that's like, hey, I love you, I support you. And then they just keep on linking back there, and you got this big army, and then you meet this one person who wants to be an a-hole and is like, I don't agree with that. And then all your supporters are like, well, no one cares because we all love this person. So your opinion don't matter. And then we keep on trucking. And then we keep on adding the troops. Because we will rule. So if you're ready, come out. There are things to be scared of, safety-wise. But no one gets to tell you who to be. No one gets to tell you how to live. Don't let that shit happen. That's all I have to say on the subject.